little hard to get good results training your glutes at home when you don't have much equipment. But with just bands or body weight, you can still have a killer workout. And today I'm going to show you some of my favorite exercises. Now make sure you stick around for the whole video because the last exercise is something that I've created, something that features regularly in my programs, and today we're taking it to a whole new level. Your glutes are going to be on fire. So let's get started. Oh my. The first exercise I want to show you is single leg elevated glute bridges, but what makes these different today is that we're using a band. So you're going to be using the band and the free leg to put extra tension on your glutes, which is going to make these way harder than doing them without a band. Now, the reason I like these is because at home it can be really hard to get a good glute workout. You've got limited equipment, limited exercises, but this is one, if you do it properly, you can actually take to failure. So it's a great addition to your home workouts. The knee that's lifted needs to be pulling on that band the entire time you're doing the exercise to create that extra tension. And it's really important you put your mind into these. You have to squeeze your glutes at the top. You have to move really slow, and you always have to be pulling on that band. Otherwise, they're not going to feel effective. Now, one thing to note is that you don't need to elevate that foot when you're doing single leg glute bridges, but elevating a few inches can definitely make a big difference to how these feel, especially if you're someone with a larger booty, because when you've got more on the hips, you have less range of motion. So elevating gives you that extra range of motion versus just doing them on the floor. Come here, come. Oh yeah, come here. Hello. Nice to see you. Oh, hi baby boy. Hello, darling. Hello. Now moving on, as if split squats aren't hard enough, today I'm going to show you how to make them even more difficult. Before doing split squats, what we're going to be doing is adding a hold of about 10 to 20 seconds, which is going to pre-fatigue your muscles. And then immediately after doing the hold, you're going to be doing your split squats. Now, because the hold pre-fatigues your muscles, you don't even need weights to make this hard. But if you want to make this more difficult, you could hang on to some heavy weights while doing the hold and then drop them when you're doing the split squats. Or if you're really up for a hard workout, you could hold weights the entire time. But one thing you should know is that I've found that doing these with body weight and focusing on form more usually means that I feel my glutes better, whereas the heavier I go, the more weight I hold, the more it shifts into my quads. So if you're wanting to focus more on your glutes and you're worried about building too much muscle in your legs, then I would stick to body weight, or maybe just using weight for the hold and then dropping it and doing body weight split squats. A couple of more tips to focus on your glutes even more. You just want to make sure you have a wide stance. So you want your working leg to be forward, creating a 90-degree angle. And usually if you lean forward a little bit, it shifts into your glutes better. And you also just have to put your mind into these. Think about driving through your hips and your glutes. And finally, the deeper you get in these lunges, the more you're going to activate your glutes. So if you've got good knees and you can go quite low with things like lunges and squats, try to get your quad parallel to the ground, at least with these, and that's really going to target your glutes well. And then the last exercise I wanted to show you is a spin on something that I created a long time ago, which features in my programs, and that's double banded bridges. So one day I was doing banded bridges and I thought to myself, what would happen if I added two? And wow, it makes it so much harder to do bridges. And in fact, if you have really good quality bands and really put your mind into these, you don't actually usually need to use weights or much weight at all. So that's really nice, because having really heavy weights on your hips can be literal pain. So what we're going to do with these double banded bridges is take them to a whole new level by elevating our feet and by adding some partials at the top. So partials are just small reps. They might be 1/3 or 1/2 of the movement at the top. And so the way this might look in my programs is something like 15 to 20 bridges, followed immediately by 15 to 20 partials. But the key with these is to move very slow and engage your glutes the entire time, both as you're lifting and as you're lowering. And another way to engage your glutes is to push out really hard against the bands the whole time. So you want to be pushing out, but also giving your glutes a good squeeze at the top. And make sure that you're not rushing the partials. You want to focus on moving really slow, very deliberately, and really squeezing your glutes the whole time. Your goal is to make your glutes burn with these, and don't rest when it burns. You got to try to push through and really lean into it. There you go. You can have great glute workouts at home if you know what you're doing. Be sure to check out my programs over on femalefitnesssystems.com. If you want some help with your training, you'll find exercises like these and so much more. I'll link to my programs in the description of this video. And let me know what you think in the comments. Do you love or hate split squats? What do you think of these exercises? Thank you so much for watching today. I will see you again soon.